The Trans-Pacific Partnership is opposed to every spiritual property and concern that Americans have.
We need all the oversight on any trade agreement that we can get in Congress.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership is opposed to every constitutional desire and concern that Americans have.
We need all the oversight, not just with the executive branch. We need it in Congress.
It's time to say no.
Hi, my name's Kian, and like you, I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised, and I still live there. And there's something I care very much about that I think you should care about as well. Did you know that global trade can affect us in ways that we don't even realize? For example, right now there's a trade agreement called the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It is being pushed through Congress using something called fast track. Just like NAFTA did 20 years ago, it's being written in secret. And there's a reason you haven't heard anything about it, because they don't want us to know. This trade agreement is being written by 600 corporate lawyers. It will affect, if it goes through, many, many areas of our lives that we won't realize. For example, our environment, it will outsource jobs, it could affect internet freedom, it could affect access to medicines, especially generic drugs. Wall Street reforms will affect our food safety. Actually, we could get sued. You didn't know that, did you? And most specifically, it will affect our ability to govern our own, to make our own rules and pass legislation, especially now that we've all worked so hard to elect a progressive mayor and a progressive city council. Thankfully, most of our New York City members of Congress are opposed to fast track. And now we're working to have the city council pass a resolution opposing fast track, and we want you to join us.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a New Yorker. I live in New York City. I work with the Sierra Club. But about a year and a half ago, I heard about a trade agreement that really surprised me. It's called the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement. I was in shock when I heard about this trade agreement. It was so big and so wide-ranging and so bad that I could hardly believe it. It's the biggest trade agreement ever written. It involves 12 countries, including the US, Canada, Australia, Japan, also small countries, Vietnam, Peru. It would cover about 40% of global trade. That's enormous. The other thing that you need to know is that it's the most secret trade agreement ever written. The public, the press, and Congress, even Congress, have not been given the text of this agreement. So everything we know about it comes from leaks. And even Congress can't see the text. But 600 transnational corporations such as ExxonMobil, Cargill, Monsanto, Walmart, they have seen it. And not only have they seen it, but they are helping to write it. When we heard about the leaks, it was very scary. They were very disturbing. When the bill, the fast track bill, was introduced in the House of Representatives early this year in January, we did a pretty good job. Not a single Democrat would co-sponsor the bill. Harry Reid said he wouldn't vote for it, and he didn't want to bring it to a vote anytime soon. Nancy Pelosi said pretty much the same thing. It arrived, it was dead on arrival. But the other side never gives up. Now there's talk about a new bill. It's called Smart Track. We know it would have bells and whistles to make it attractive to Democrats and to reassure Republicans. But nobody's putting it out now because they didn't want to put it out before the November elections. They don't want to be caught either yes or no. So there's time right now to inform the public, let them know what is about to come down on us, and remove the secrecy. Get it into the mainstream media. That's why the Sierra Club, this is New York Society for Ethical Culture and Public Citizens Global Trade Watch are hosting an event called Global City, not Global Governance.
Friends with Sierra Club and other organizations have asked me to comment on social justice ramifications of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty that is under consideration, or maybe it's not, by our Congress. I want to look at the word social justice for a moment and open it up a little bit with some words from Reverend William Sloane Coffin, former senior minister at the Riverside Church, where I also served. Coffin used to say that justice is sorting out what belongs to whom and getting it back to them. I want to observe that sorting out what belongs to whom is a deliberative process. It takes consciousness. People have to think together. What's happening with the fast-track permission request that Obama is making of the Congress is that there wouldn't be any deliberative process. It's absolutely the opposite of justice to ask people blindly to say yes or no, as if they can possibly come up with the right answer for how to serve the interests of the American people in fast-track approval. The Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty is going to give power to corporate interests and allow that material interest, that greediness that's so profoundly expressed all across this country, to continue to grow and grow and grow. It's like a person that just cannot stop going to the refrigerator and gorging on getting more and more and more. Justice is the deliberative process by which we say no more and begin to decide with consciousness and care and concern what belongs to whom and getting it back to them. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is opposed to every spiritual property and concern that Americans have. It is opposed to every constitutional desire and concern that Americans have. It's time to say no. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is opposed to every spiritual property and concern that Americans have.
We need all the oversight on any trade agreement that we can get in Congress.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership is opposed to every constitutional desire and concern that Americans have.
We need all the oversight, not just with the executive branch. We need it in Congress.
It's time to say no.